Welcome to Center Hice Productions. It is January the 4th, 2024. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in the right hand corner. Muchly appreciated. Thank you to all my followers. I muchly appreciate it. Tell your friends and family about it. Pass it on. Let's try to grow this channel and community and make it a good one. All right, let's get to what we're getting. This is going to be a very short video because not a lot to talk about. It was not a great game. To review Sabres coming into Montreal, you would have thought Montreal would have been excited to come home. I think the only positive was, Josh Anderson was given the Molson Star for the month of December, which, yeah, okay. He did have a half-decent month, I'll give him that. But this game started, and I got to be honest, you had, flashes here and there for the Habs. But anyway, I'm going to get off the stats because there's not much else. I got a lot to say. This was just a very flat game on behalf of the Habs. It's like we didn't show. It's like we had one player show up, which is surprising. And I never say this about Armia. He seemed to be the only guy that wanted to play tonight. And Allen played as well as he could for being left out to hang and dry because that defense was horrible tonight. And this was the first night that I really seen not good things from Struble. Came out with a couple good hits at the very beginning of the game. After that, he was beaten quite a bit on his feet. But then again, like I said, so was Matheson and Savard. The team did not look well. I didn't see that much of Kovacevic, which I found surprising, as bad as they were playing. All right, and you had Suzuki and Caulfield and Slav. They weren't even great tonight. They had flashes. Pizzetta looked good at the opening moments with a couple of big hits. Then he disappears per usual. And this is what I get. I don't understand it. You can't. People got to stop looking at his past performances from last year because that's what I look at. But I go by your present performances. You got to show up for the whole game. And he's just not cutting it. Sorry to say it. Can you play an entire 60 minutes, Pizzetta? Then again, tonight, could anybody play 60 minutes other than Armia? And I'm shocked to be saying that. All right. So the very simple, disastrous game for the Habs. Pathetic again. It was Skinner night. As usual, Skinner just has a field day on us all the time. And he did it once again. So anyway, here's how it looked. Final score, 6-1. No scoring in the first. So this looked close. Some people, I couldn't believe some of the announcers thought this game was good. I don't know what game is the most boring. I almost fell asleep several times. It was that flat and dead on Montreal's behalf. Second period, 2-1 for the Sabres. Then the third period was a disaster with 4 goals. Now, mind you, open net goals made it look worse than what it was, but the crisscrosses in front of the nets by Savard and Matheson, there wasn't a blessed thing that Allen could do. Then the crisscross passes on some of the plays, stretch passes, and again you'd see Matheson out of place. Evans caught out of position, although he was covering Matheson's position. It was just a disaster. Savard was caught out of place. Struble got burnt several times. Wasn't impressed. This was just a disaster. So that was your final score, 6-1. There's not much positive I can say, and I'm not going to. Levi played a fairly good game for a kid. I wouldn't say that this is anything outstanding. Montreal was, in my books, I found their chances were more from the outside. I didn't find them dangerous tonight whatsoever. I found, like I said, most of the shots kept to the outside, so Levi looked better than he actually was. It was really, the effort wasn't there. And Skinner had a goal, 3 assists. He was the second star after Levi with a +1. Third star was Tage Thompson, and he had a good game too. 2 goals, an assist, and +1. Those 3 did have really good games. No scoring in the first. Scoring started in the second with Casey Misselstadt scoring, assisted by Skinner and Ramis Dahlin on the power play. Um, Again, this was a nice goal, cross ice pass, and they just stretched Montreal's defense. And I see a very big problem. This is something we're starting to see show up. All you got to do is stretch it against that defense, and you seem to be able to go around them, beat them very easily. They seem to be caught out of position. So that was the first goal. Second goal was Jeff Skinner, assisted by Alex Tuck at 6:59. Tage Thompson assisted as well on the power play. Once again, our penalty killing's just putrid, and like I say, well, I don't even know why. What they think putting Matheson out on a penalty kill. I think that's a huge mistake in itself, right there. I see that they want to use him on the power play. That's fine, but use somebody else, because that pairing, other than Savard blocking shots, it gets burnt, and just doesn't look good. Happens quite frequently. So 6:59, and so it was 2-0 on the power play. Joel Armia steals one from them, shorthanded. Nice goal, burned him after he had a goal taken away from him, because Pizzetta made contact with the goalie. Otherwise, Armia would have had 2 goals. So yeah, it was quite clear that he did make contact with Levi. So good call by Buffalo's coaching staff. But anyway, Armia got his goal back, shorthanded, unassisted, and he had a strong game. Okay, so third period, 6:45, Jack Quinn scores, assisted by Peterka and Connor Clifton. 8:35, Tage Thompson, assisted by Skinner and Tuck. 14:31, Dahlin, assisted by Matthias Samuelson and Casey Misselstadt on an empty net. Tage Thompson again, assisted by Skinner and Jack Quinn. So here it was. The shots became closer. It's very deceptive, because the quality chances, I did not find that Montreal was on the inside enough. A lot of their shots were from the perimeter. I just didn't like there was it was like they were losing the board battles. There was no effort. As far as I could see, they were pushed off the puck very easily tonight. Lost a lot of board battles. Didn't get on the inside enough fight. Gallagher might have been one of the only guys willing to get to the net tonight. Like I said, the big boys didn't show up in front of the net at all. Slab or Anderson just didn't do enough in front of that net tonight. Sorry, because this whole team played poorly. And so 38 shots to 33 for Buffalo, 10 hits to Montreal's 14, face-offs 29 to Montreal's 34, 2 power play goals out of 4 for Buffalo. Their power play was working quite well. Ours, our usual story, 0-3, just like our penalty kill. Pathetic, and it's just getting hard to watch. How they're just so lame. They might as well trade in their power play when the opposition gets a penalty. Just ask the league to just keep them at 5-on-5, even on power plays, because they're useless on it. It's just garbage. So yeah, not happy with them. Penalty minutes, 10 minutes to 12, fairly close. So we had more penalty minutes. Giveaways 10 to 12 in favor of us. Takeaways 3-6 for us. Block shots 17-14. They outdid us in that department tonight. They played a good game. Penalties, Joel Armia takes a penalty in the first period. 2 minutes for hooking. And then Buffalo gets a penalty, and that was at 13-16 of the first period. 15-19. Too many men served by Victor Olsen for Buffalo. Second period, Dennis Savard, 2 minutes for slashing. 5-minute penalty. Mitchell Stevens, 2 minutes for interference. Michael Pizzetta, 2 minutes for tripping, served by Brendan Gallagher. Dylan Cousins, 2 minutes for tripping. Third period, Dylan Cousins again for 4 minutes for roughing. David Savard, 2 minutes for roughing. Mike Matheson, 2 minutes for roughing. Zach Benson, 2 minutes for delay of game. So this game, anyway, was very pathetic. There was not much excitement. Montreal didn't show up. I thought they would, if anything, they would have been really pumped coming back after that long, horrendous road trip they just came back from. They looked bad. And like I said, yes, there was sparks of sometimes you had a spark out of Slav, sometimes you had a spark out of Suzuki, sometimes you had a spark out of Caulfield, but it was so rare and inconsistent. And I can't really say any of them had a solid game. But that goes for the whole team, to be quite honest. Other than Armia, Monahan was probably the next best forward, and maybe Stevens. Other than that, this team did not look good. The forward group didn't look good. There was no effort. Their forecheck was a lot to be desired. They lost the puck battles. Their heart wasn't in it. It was just a heartless effort. You could see there was, and I'm sorry. I listened to the announcers and I'm thinking, what planet are you on? You must be on meth or something. Because if you were watching the same game I was watching, it was the most flat effort I've seen from the Habs. So I don't know where some of these reporters come from. They can't know hockey that well because you weren't watching the same game I was watching. This was a really bad showing by the Habs, and our defense played very poorly. And, like I say, I don't even know if I could pick out anybody on that defensive core that was solid other than the worst players I can pick out easily, and that was Matheson. Struble was on the weaker side tonight. He got beat. He showed some weaknesses, definitely did. And Sabres. And, that doesn't mean that the rest of them were good because they weren't. Gooley got beat as well. He didn't look sharp. Barron, so-so, ups and downs. Harris didn't look as good as he looked the other night. Like I said, Kovacevic, I didn't even see him much of the night. Seen him at the beginning, and after that, it's like they didn't put him out. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, and then we got the news today that Dvorak's gone for the season. Well, this has been our luck. For me, this was great news tonight because the lower we get in the standings, the happier I'll be that maybe we get one of those top 3 draft picks. So for me, this was a win. So way to go, Habs. However, for effort, you got a major, major fail. Pathetic. And there's no one that can tell me otherwise. This group looked awful, and if they think they had a tough time with Buffalo Saturday night, prepare. The Rangers in town. They're going to eat us alive. I'm going to be generous and say 6-1 New York. That's being generous because I wouldn't be one bit surprised there's 2 or 3 more goals. We're pathetic. Like that effort. If we're going to come up with a lackadaisical effort like tonight, I mean, we just look like a bunch of softies. You better bring somebody up for some toughness because this team's a joke. Like I said, you've seen a couple of good hits from Struble at the beginning of the game in the first period. And then you've seen a couple of good hits from Pizzetta. And after that, and they were both in the beginning of the game. After that, no one to be found. But for anybody to say Michael Pizzetta's been outstanding, again, are you on meth? Because I got bad news for you. Michael Pizzetta might throw 1 or 2 hits in a game. He's not the guy last year who was hitting everything that moved, giving you 110%. He's not the same hockey player. So, please, I can see very shortly he won't be on this team because, although he might last another year in the lineup because we're so soft and we got no toughness at all. So that would be his only saving grace. But this team's in trouble. And it's the same thing when I look at the caliber of what's in Laval. Forward-wise, we're in trouble forward-wise because we've only got 3 or 4 guys. And that's including in the juniors. And 2 of those 4 guys are small. This team's in trouble. So I don't know how this team is going to improve. There's no way that this is a 3-year make the playoffs program. Not a chance. You probably got another 3 years to go just before you may start contending for a playoff spot. This team's behind in the draft, and even with the rebuild, you're slightly behind. You got a lot more work to do. You need one of those top three, and you better do it because you're not as far ahead as you think you are. This team is got trouble on the way, and we got to stop pumping the tires. Yes, it's refreshing that we have an open line with this team's administration, but that whoever's drafting, I can't say that I see enough positives yet because these guys that are coming in the forward group are small. They're not gonna. It's not going to work unless you want to go to ice a bunch of Smurfs. You'll never win. So that being said, pathetic game. I should have stayed asleep. I shouldn't even have watched this game. It was that bad. Shocked that I'm complimenting Armia. Played a good game. And Allen, I felt so bad for him because he was playing half decent. There was not much he could do with most of those goals. So you can't put this on Allen. He was solid, pretty darn solid. And yeah, just really bad effort by the Canadians. So yeah, I'll be interested in hearing what Marty's going to say on this one because if he says they played well, wow. Anyway, where's Puck Drop First here at Center Ice Productions. Thank you for following. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Just uh, uh, be pleasant. Don't be rude or nasty. That's all I ask. And yeah, we will catch you in a review against the Rangers. Like I say, I'm cutting this short because I wasn't happy with this game whatsoever. I thought it was a pathetic display. You would have been better off sending a junior hockey team to play that game for the Habs. Pathetic. The effort, pathetic. And that's on the bulk of the team. There's not many. I can only excuse two guys for tonight, and that's Armia and Allen. Sorry, everybody else deserves triple workouts. Pathetic. Pathetic. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And yeah, go Habs, go. I just like to see respectability. But for me, like I say, I'm happy. This helps me with them tanking. They got to start dropping faster because they're putting up like Dallas. That game they played too well. Thank you for joining me, and we'll catch you in the next episode. God bless.